And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it's the Tom Chenault Show. I hope you are having an epically awesome day. We've got a couple of great guests on the show today. We've got Brian Carruthers, we've got Ray Higdon, and I just can't believe how excited I am. I have been a fan of Brian Carruthers for longer than I care to admit. He was an icon in lead generation. Before I even knew what that stuff even meant, he was around, he was building it big. I was having people call me every day saying, who is this Brian Carruthers? And I have gotten lucky enough to get to know him for many, many years now. And I think he's one of the most humble and coolest guys I know. And it's really weird because he came out of a somewhat, actually a really successful past. He wasn't one of those guys that came over from the wrong side of the tracks like me. Much, much bigger story than that. But he just realized he was climbing the ladder of success following his parents and said, you know what, this is a great idea, but it's leaned against the wrong wall. I want to have success and I want to have the time, the health, and the money to spend it. And this guy literally did it. I'm in awe of him. How are you, Brian?
I'm great, Tom. Great to see you again.
You look great. You look 12. You look happy. Now you got kids running. When I met you, you were a kid. Now you got kids running out of your ears. You're just getting back for school. Tell me a story. What's going on with your life these days?
Oh, hell, I'm 48 years old and we've got a 7-month-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 13-year-old. So my hair's falling out. I'm lacking sleep. So I'll take your compliments. I'm not sure if you can see me on camera right now or not.
I can see as plain as day. You look good and blue. You look great. You look happy. And you're not slowing down a bit, are you?
Well, you know, this summer I've taken the whole summer to go spend at our beach house with the boys. And so that's what we build this for, right? You build a business and you got the residual cash flow coming in. And you know, I've been having a good time this summer.
So here's the deal about him that I love is he came out of the real estate business. So he knows about income producing real estate, but he also realized that he wanted to build himself a real powerful residual income in network marketing. And then he also decided that he really wanted to learn the stock market and everything going on with that. And if you've been watching him for a while, you will hear him talk about Apple Computer and some of his investments at a level that most people can't even comprehend. And I love that about you. But so many people go, yeah, well, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to buy oil wells. I'm going to buy tax-free tax liens. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. And I look at them all because I used to be a financial talk show host in an earlier life. And I was on the radio 3 hours a day during drive time in Colorado, knowing full well 95% of my audience couldn't afford to buy a stock. They just talked about it. You can afford to buy it. You figured out that the way to be able to do that was with residual income and taking that money out of it and going and buy other things that are going to create income for you. Would you talk about that first? Because you kind of came, you know, the neat thing about you is you kind of came from way up here and I came from way down here, and we're kind of like an accordion. And seeing you where you are, we're kind of met in the middle now. And that makes me really happy. So talk about that a little bit, if that question even made sense.
Yeah, well, I think one thing I would just say about that is you see a lot of rags to riches stories in network marketing because it's such a level playing field, and anybody with desire and willingness to work and coachability can go all the way as far as they want to the top. And so you see a lot of people that get into the business, they don't have any other better vehicle. And so what's their alternative? To go back to where they were already unhappy, already not doing well financially. So that's why you see a lot of people go from the bottom and make their way to the top. You know, what's interesting is you don't see as many, you see plenty, but not as many people who are already very successful making six figures that make it to the top in network marketing. It's not because they're not smart enough. It's not because they can't do it. It's because it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody is going to experience the same growing pains and rejections and so forth. As a brand, it's a whole different animal. You have to go out and learn a lot of new stuff. You have to go out there and prospect people, and you're going to get the same no's like everybody else gets. If you're already making six figures and you go get those first half a dozen no's, that typically will knock that six-figure earner back into what they were doing, making six figures, because they're like, hey, I don't need to deal with this. I'm just going to go back to what I was already doing. I was already doing a healthy income. That's why you don't see that many people stick around and go through those growing pains. So that's kind of what when I look at my story, that's where I feel a little bit of, I feel kind of proud of myself, because that was 20 years ago. I was 28 years old, getting into my company that I'm in now. And I could have easily let that discourage me and go right back to the family real estate company. But I chose not to, because I just knew what was on the other side waiting for me. My belief was really, really high. I got around the right associations. I a lot of times people surround themselves with the ducks and hang around, pecking around like chickens. And I went for the people that were really doing well. People like you, Tom. I just wanted to get around the people that were highly successful, borrow their belief. And frankly, that's what's happened.
When what I love about you, and here's what I say, and what you just said, I say much shorter. I have lots of friends that make big money, stockbrokers, real estate guys, people like that, and they all get in this space and they fail, and then they blame network marketing. And the reason that I know they failed is because they suck at it, because they are so used to that corporate America climb where you're just stepping on somebody's head to get to the top, and all the competition, you're supposed to just be that person, that dog eat dog person. And then you come into this crazy business and you're supposed to be nice to everybody, and you don't win unless you are. It is absolutely counterintuitive to how you've been trained. And you have to unlearn all that stuff to get good. And what I love about you with your books is these books attract and explain to those tightly wound people that there is a different way to get to the same spot without having to step on people's heads to get there, right?
Absolutely. And the reason why, I thought I was done with books, frankly, and I wrote 3 and they've all, served their purposes, helping people out in this industry, but last year I started realizing that a lot of the distributors, I built a team of 400,000 distributors, and I watched, you learn so much about human psychology. You almost become a psychologist as an upline leader in this business, because you're dealing with so many people and you watch what they do. And what I've seen is people get into the business, they see the opportunity, they pay their money to start the business, but they don't really grasp exactly what they've got their hands on. They don't, and that's why they don't stick around. And so, if people truly understood that their job is never going to get them the time freedom, because what stands in the way of you and time freedom is financial freedom. If you're trading your time for money, you will never have time freedom. And the best way to get it is with the residual income. Most people don't have a vehicle to get that unless you've got millions of dollars in capital to go buy investment real estate that's going to throw off positive cash flow, which most people can't find the money to do. This network marketing business is the only real way to do it. You can do it small or you can do it big, but it's the only way to do it. And that's why that book is going to open up people's minds to really understand what their life is like, how they bridge that gap. And I think it's going to be a game changer. I hope.
A couple of $1,000s a month. I mean, you start, and that's a pretty low bar. I want to pull this up because I've got it bookmarked and I'll forget what I was talking about. On page 125 in his book, and you can't see it, it talks about the action steps as to how to be successful. And it reminded me of the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. Realize the need to become an entrepreneur. The time is now. Step 2, explore and decide on what business. Step 3, commit to the journey. Step 4, start a part-time business. Step 5, invest the earnings. Step 6, retire from your job and ramp up your efforts on your business. Step 7, you're wealthy and free. And step 8, turn around and mentor others. That's what happens to you in AA. You've got to go learn it, and then the only way you survive is to go teach it. And that's what he's teaching you right now. And you got to swallow a lot of pride and ego at the very beginning of this thing, because you're literally making on other people's terms nothing but $2,000 a month. If I've got a piece of real estate kicking off $2,000 a month to me every month, that's a pretty good sized house or piece of real estate. And if you start thinking about it like that, man, you start realizing what's $100,000 a month worth. I mean, you have got the chance. And I'm not going to tell you it's not hard work, and I'm not going to tell you that you can do it, but you've got the chance. And in this business, you got a chance. In most businesses, you got no shot. And if you listen to what he's talking about and read this book, especially you hip, slick, and cool yuppies and baby boomers out there, I am telling you one thing. And what's the third one? Generation X. If you're those people, I am telling you, I personally believe This is the only way to get there from here. And I think in your book, Brian Carruthers, and I've read all your books. I read the little tiny one. You said you've written 3 books, but I really believe you've only written 2.5. But this one is a game changer, and it's cool, buddy.
I appreciate that. And by the way, on page 45 in that book, and I think that we talk about in network marketing, a leadership principle is to celebrate all wins. A lot of times we only celebrate the people that are making the $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. They get they suck out all the oxygen in the room. And the only way you're going to build a large, successful network marketing organization is by celebrating the smaller wins. And so, for example, you can literally change your life and you can become a millionaire so that you can eventually retire by generating an extra $600 a month. If you look on the page there, $600 a month, if you don't just make it and spend it, which is what most people do, daggone it, you got your job, you're paying your bills with your salary, you get into network marketing on the side part-time, like Jim Rohn always taught, you generate an extra $600 a month, put it into investments where you get a 10% compounded return, which is the S&P average over the last 50 years. At 10% compounded return, $600 a month, in 10 years, you got 124,000, 20 years, 460,000, 30 years, 1.3 million, 40 years, $3.8 million. So you can literally set yourself up for retirement on $600 of extra income from your network marketing business. Heck, if you do $1,500 a month, in 20 years, you got 1.1 million, and $3,000 a month, you got 2.3 million in 20 years. You don't need to make $1 million a year to be a millionaire. You just need to know what to do with the daggone money when you make it. And if you don't know what you're going to do with it, guess what? You're going to blow it. And at the end of the year, you're no better off than when you started the year. And whatever effort you put in your network marketing business was all in vain. You wasted time. You got some good friendships out of it, hope. But if you're looking to gain financially and become financially free and get untrapped from your job, you got to have the right plan.
People want to know that they can do it. And the way that they can do it is knowing that they can trust you, that they belong with you, and that they're safe. And that's what you do with this book, is you let people realize finally in this book that no matter where they are in their life, they've got that shot. The book's called Untrapped, the Freedom Manifesto. What website should they go to buy this thing, Brian?
Go to untrappedbook.com and get them direct and get bulk pricing there, or just Amazon, Kindle, Audible. It's everywhere now.
I love this thing. It's called Untrapped Freedom Manifesto. Go to untrappedbook.com right now during the break. Buy this book. We're coming back right after this on the Genesis Communication Network. Thank you, Ted Anderson, for having us on for the last 15 years every week. It's wonderful. We'll be back right after this. And we're back. What are you doing? James is moving the microphone. Hello, Adrian. How are you?
How's it going? Hi, Brian.
Say hi to Brian Carruthers.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm a finance guy. This sounds like my kind of book. I saw you looking at the table, and I was like, all right, this is my kind of guy.
You know what's so funny, you guys, and this is 1,000% the truth. I said, look at page 125 because I understood 125 because it's like 7 simple things like AA. I went to page 45 and what went in my brain, I saw that chart. I didn't understand it because I haven't got the brains God gave a crowbar. All you finance guys, I'm happy for you. But when I just heard you say I'm going to have all that kinds of money, if I would have taken $600 a month and kept it for 40 years, I'd have $3.8 million. That just proves how smart I'm not, Paco. Wow. What are you doing here?
The number one financial lesson in my childhood is don't spend less, just make more.
Yeah, that's what I told him. And he said, Dad, what's your financial plan? I said, it's very, very simple. He goes, what? I go, I get paid every month. I divide that check by 30, and that's how much we could spend every day. It was awesome, but it actually ended up quite badly.
It worked out in the end.
Phones being disconnected, cars being repossessed. I thought my income was just going to keep going like this, and sometimes it went down like that, and so bye-bye, car. That was a good lesson for you. You came out okay. All right.
All's well that ends well.
All's well that ends well. So what are you doing now?
Yeah, so Contact Mapping is the sponsor of the Tom Chenault Show. It's good to be on here today, and we got these cool new shirts. We're twinning today. That's pretty good.
Yeah, mine's much smaller than yours, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Wasn't going to mention that, but there you go. But yeah, so Contact Mapping is a tool that makes it easy for you to be fantastic at listening to people so that you can celebrate those small wins like Brian was talking about. And that is the most important thing. We were sitting in a meeting the other day. I was watching him work on a new prospect with somebody in his organization. And she told this story about this little red coat that as a kindergartner, all she wanted in life was a red coat. And her mom bought her sister the red coat and a green coat for her. And her dream her entire life, God knows why she's never bought a red coat. She has always dreamed of having a red coat. And it was the funniest thing because I watched him and he just goes and grabs his paper and writes that down. And then at the end of the conversation, he goes, I'm going to give you a leadership lesson right now. When somebody tells you that they want that red coat or whatever it is, that is the secret to their soul. And you are going to go and buy a Burberry magazine. You're going to cut out a picture of somebody in a beautiful red coat. You're going to mail it to them and tell them how great they look in it. And that's going to be the dream that they attach to. And that changes everything when you do that with people, doesn't it?
All we want to be is remembered. I mean, you've missed my birthday like twice in the 68 years. Actually, you've been around for only a few of them. But at the end of the day, every time you miss my birthday, it's horrible. He's never missed my birthday, but has missed a couple things. So, no, true story though. That's what we want to be.
Unbelievable. And it's so important. And it's that little stuff, whether it's celebrating little wins, whether it's paying attention to something that felt like it's so easy to treat those little things like they're a passing throwaway comment, but that's the most important stuff. And so what contact mapping lets you do is it gives you a running log on every contact that you can capture those little notes. You can remember little things about everybody that you meet. It makes sure that you follow up on time every single time. And it allows you to become that person that creates this culture and this connectedness that's remarkable. So go check it out, contactmapping.com. You get a free 30-day trial, and I promise you're going to love it.
And on top of that, Brian, we know you know some guys from Rapid Funnel.
Oh, yeah.
And we love those Rapid Funnel guys. They are the nicest guys in the world. So hi to all of them if they're watching. We're coming back right after this. And we're back. Hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault. It's the Tom Chenault Show. We have got for about 10 more minutes, and people are texting me like crazy saying, what does Brian Carruthers do now? Is he just retired? Is he just raising those 3 children, ages 13, 2.5, and just a baby? Or is he actually building every day? And I am telling you, I know the answer, but I'm going to ask him. He's still doing what he's asking people to do. He's literally recruiting every day. He is mentoring and teaching. And he's playing the game at a high level, even though he doesn't need to be anymore. Is that correct, Brian?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, for years I was telling people I was going to make $100,000 a month in network marketing. I called it a rock a month. I said, I'm going to make a rock a month. And everybody I said it to, they laughed like, yeah, whatever, come on. But when I got there, then you shift to the next goal. And my next goal was, all right, I'm just going to 10X it. I'm going to make $1 million a month. Now, the same people that laughed at me when I told them I was going to make $100,000 a month, when I hit it, and I said, now I'm going to take this thing to $1 million a month in earnings, they don't laugh at me anymore because they know that when I set my mind to something, I build it out and I get it done. So my hallmark, I believe, is, a lot of times, after 20 years of doing the same thing, a lot of times people get off the elevator and they show up to the conventions, they're shaking hands, kissing babies and all that. My thing is, I want to be in the trenches. I don't want to tell my team what to do. I don't listen to what I say. Watch what I do. Copy what I do, and you'll succeed in this business. So that's kind of my hallmark. I'm in the trenches every day. I love it. I'm wired for it. And one of the things that I think people have to learn how to do is it's called mastering the mundane. It's mundane to get on the phone and reach out to prospects, to do your follow-ups, to reach out to your team members. It is mundane, but if you can find a way to make the mundane not monotonous, have fun with it. Know that the end game is going to be all worth it. I don't enjoy reading books, but I read them because I like what I get from them. I don't like working out in the gym, but I like what I get from working out in the gym. You see what I'm saying? So
God,
you do what you got to do because you like the result. So if you want to have an empire and you want to have that cash flow, it gives you the freedom. You got to get that, right? Boom.
I can't believe my eyes. I've been shocked.
It's a well-kept secret.
Wow. Yeah, but they're 100% right. So systems, cultures, all that stuff, you build that stuff around your businesses. I mean, you've got a culture for just literally everything, and you just plug people into that so they can all duplicate exactly what you are doing, correct?
Yeah, I mean, well, they should, but as we know, the 80-20 rule, 80% won't do it. You know, the system is there. Any company that's doing well, your company, my company, any company is doing well, the leadership is in place, the system's in place. But to get somebody who's a independent business owner who you don't have a salary over their head to make them do anything, sometimes it is hard. That's why, you know, like the Untrapped book as an example, when the why is strong enough, they will start listening to what we're showing them how to do. And I think the number one word for this whole day, the word of the day for me, is awareness. If we can engage people's awareness, get them aware of the need to build their network marketing business, get them aware of the fact that here in network marketing, they have a true alignment of interest for the first time in their life at their job. Their boss, their manager is never going to teach them everything they know, because that person would take their job one day. And Tom, if you were in real estate and the top real estate agent in Colorado or wherever you're living now, if that person's doing $50 million, $100 million in sales a year, that person's never going to teach you his secret sauce, because then you go out and capture his market share, take his customers. In network marketing, you've got leadership, the top 7-figure earners in your business that you can actually reach out to and say, will you mentor me? And they will say, gladly, let me put my arm around you. Let's walk this journey together. And you don't have to pay that mentor. Not only are they available, you don't have to pay the money. If you want a John Legend to teach you singing or playing the piano, it'd be like $300,000 a day. But here you've got the company paying your mentors to mentor you. The better they help you succeed, the more the company pays them. It's the only place there's a true alignment of interest.
What I love about what you're saying, and you train generically as hard as you train your own company. What's that all about? Why is it because you have such a lack of scarcity mentality? What is it that has you do that so nonstop out there, Bri?
Well, I was in my own cocoon, minding my own business in my company for 14 years. And Eric invited me to speak at the first GoPro event, I guess 8 or 9 years ago. When it was a little room of like 400 people that time. And afterward, you know, we had a conversation, and that's when I decided on my flight home, I wrote that Making My First 10 Million booklet. That was the first of the 4, you know, you can call that a half a book. So I got 3.5 books.
I'm kidding. There was a joke.
No, it's a booklet. So, but anyway, you know, I made the decision that, you know, because Eric said, look, Brian, he had me speak for an hour that day on cold market recruiting. And he said, Brian, because at that point I'd recruited like 1,000 people personally. Now it's like 1,600. So I know how to recruit. He said, Brian, don't just think about only helping your team. What is your legacy? Is your legacy only your downline, or would you want to go out and leave your mark on the whole world? And at that point, it was just like this magic conversation that opened up my eyes to say, you know what? I don't care what company somebody's in. I don't care what product that they're peddling. What we do is we give people hope and dream and opportunity. And so whether I'm doing it with my company vehicle, you're Tom doing it with your company's vehicle, we're all changing lives. So why would I limit the life change to only one dimension? Let's open this thing up 3-dimensionally and help anybody. So I've been really, really excited. You know, one of the things that people said to me is, Brian, you're in a company, so people aren't really going to trust that they can really follow you and learn from you and so forth, because you might be dangerous, because you'll try to recruit somebody into your company. You know, and I'm sure people have done that. But one of the things I did was, you know, I'm all about integrity. And so I said, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it right. I have not recruited an active network marketer in 5.5 years. Somebody's already in a business. I want them to stay in their business. I want them to succeed in their business. And so it's important that we don't have that scarcity mindset where we're trying to steal people's people and being underhanded. There's room for everybody to succeed in this business.
I love that. I love you. We've got to go. But here's the deal. I want you to go get untrappedbook.com, buy this book. I love Brian Carruthers. Thanks a million for being on, man. And we'll catch you next time.
Great seeing you, Tom. Appreciate you.
Love you. Hug those kids. All right. We'll be right back. And we're back. And no, Adrian, this is just great. Brian Carruthers is a rock star. Buy his book. He really understands the game. And Adrian wants to show you a little something right now. This is going to be pretty cool. We just kicked this out. I actually did it. Adrian doesn't understand technology. Either does his partner, Rick Manelius from MIT. So here we go.
Okay, so how do you spell your last name?
Last name is S-U-G-G-S.
Okay, perfect. And so the last thing I always want to do with anybody I meet is I always want to take a selfie together. Can we grab a picture real quick?
Totally.
All right, awesome. Let's do that. All right, perfect, man. Thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
Great meeting you too.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Devin. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Met Devin at the coffee shop today, period. He is originally from San Antonio, where he was a successful personal trainer, period. He got into his own entrepreneurial stuff and recently moved to Colorado looking for his next gig here, period. I talked about what he's looking to do next and going to introduce him to a few of my friends to see how I can help, period. 26 seconds. That's all it took for me to remember everything important about that conversation. 26 seconds. Do you think you could do that? I know you could. It's just that easy. In fact, when we were designing contact mapping, easy was the key word. If it wasn't easy, we didn't do it. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take a look at the app. Here's the interface on our homepage. The first time you open it, at the very top, you'll see 0 of 2 contacts mapped today. That's just our way of encouraging you to make new connections every single day. Just below that, you'll see Notes, Unlogged, and a little button called Get Inspired. The notes and unlogged areas we will cover in some of our instructional videos, and you'll hear more about inspiration in a moment. In the next section down, you'll see all of your follow-ups that are currently due. If you want to see your upcoming follow-ups, simply tap on See All on the right. Our follow-up process and template are the best in the business and have been designed with complete simplicity of use in mind. And since we want to help you succeed in any way we can, below that you'll find a scrollable section called Inspiration. There, we provide you with tips and tricks for building better relationships that you can take action on today. So on the homepage, we're going to help you to connect with new people each day, we're going to keep you on top of your follow-ups, and we're going to nudge and inspire you to keep your relationships growing. Now you're going to love this next little piece of functionality. See that little white plus sign in the green circle? We call that our quick trigger button, and that's exactly what it's for. Getting you to the key things you'd like to do right away, like creating a new contact, setting a new follow-up, or creating a new note for an existing contact. You'll see the quick trigger button on other pages in the app, and it's always going to take you to do these commonly used functions. This is the exact process I used when I mapped Jason at the coffee shop, and as you saw, it seamlessly flows from one step to the next. Now, down at the bottom, you'll see a navigation section. We've just shown you the home screen. You also have a section called Notes and Contacts that makes it easy for you to reference those. And finally, a really cool button simply labeled Search. It's really cool because of the depth and breadth of its coverage. It's like being able to Google your own memory. Imagine being able to remember anyone you've ever met based on anything you remember about them. A place, a hobby, a mutual friend, and instantly being able to access that person's name and everything you remember about them. It's almost like a magic trick. Finally, on the homepage of our website, if you click on the Philosophy tab, the first thing you'll see is the Coffee Shop Interview, an innocuous little title. Click on that and you'll be invited to download what we think is the world's best manual on how to become a super connector and learn to build and maintain relationships that last a lifetime. The Coffee Shop Interview is just one of the many ways we here at Contact Mapping are totally committed to your success. Sure, we have the best relationship development software in the business, but we offer so much more. Start your free 30-day trial today and experience how easy it is to create relationships that have a big impact in your life and the lives of others. Thanks.
And we're back. It is Tom Chenault, and it is the Tom Chenault Show, and it is a beautiful day. We've got Ray Higdon. And if you don't know Ray Higdon, if you don't know Rank Makers, you are missing it. You're missing it at a level you can't believe. I have a little surprise for Ray Higdon right now. I wanted to see it. I'm bringing in his worst nightmare. Hello, Ray Higdon. Hello, Cadillac.
Hello. Hey, Ray.
Hey, sorry, I just got caught up with that last guess.
That is so funny. How are you, Ray?
1 second. I'm just finishing up page 125. Let me just earmark. Okay. All right. We're ready. We're ready. Okay.
Hilarious.
All right. What do we got?
What do we got here? We got Cadillac.
Bam. Did Cadillac sponsor this as well? I'm impressed.
He's our other sponsor.
That's fantastic.
Adorable, man. He just got off work on the railroad and came to see you because he loved you.
That's nice, man.
All
Good
right.
to see you, brother.
And here's what's so beautiful. You're out of here. Here's what's so beautiful about that is Ray Higdon can hit everybody in network marketing that truly has a desire to make a change in their life. I've never seen more rank advancements. I've never seen more income advancements. I've never seen hope at every level in any training program anywhere in my life like this guy hits. And I am telling you, I am a fan at a level you can't believe. It's an honor to see Ray Higdon on here, especially in light of the situation going on with his beautiful wife, Jessica, who's got to be having a baby any minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen hard, but you're absolutely correct. Well, thank you very much. I'm a huge fan of you as well.
Well, here's the deal, Ray. What I love about you is everybody can have an extraordinary life if they can just see in the mirror that they have got the chance to do it if they'll break down everything that has stopped them in their life and they just go be willing to relearn it. And you've done that with rank makers literally every day forever. People can join for literally nothing, go up to whatever level they want to on their own, but nobody's left behind, correct?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun in there, that's for sure. And we do challenge people, we do kick some butt, but it's something that it was kind of our answer to what we felt more people needed: more accountability, more consistency, and more simplicity. And so yeah, we're honored, and we love our peeps.
So what's the plan for you? I mean, as you go forward, network marketing, do you think we're at a place where, obviously in the United States it dipped a little bit, but I don't think it dipped in your world. I think it's gone up in your world, and you basically caught it, because I'm not watching what's going on with all these companies reporting their sales as to what's going on in rank makers. I think every time I turn around, I'm getting text messages, is rank maker something I should join? I think finally people are realizing what you're selling they need to have, because they're finding out it's inside of them, not what's in a book, that's going to be the difference for them to be able to get out of the circumstance they're in.
Yeah, I mean, we really focus on production, and we focus on getting people out of their way and getting people out of overthinking, of even using words like overwhelmed, frustrated, disappointed, confused, and getting them into productive championship kind of words and actions, of course. And so yeah, we love it, and it's something that if someone's serious about growing in their business, we really think that we can help them.
So what's cool about it, everybody, is if you go to rankmakers.com and you open it up sometime and they get in there and they're allowed to actually spend $20 a month and be part of your team. When I get on there in the mornings, and I get on there because I do this thing called the Hair on Fire call, and everybody goes, Tom, that's unbelievable content. It's frightening. How do you think of all this stuff? They don't know. I just watch you and then just repeat what you just said 20 minutes earlier off your life. Everybody thinks I'm a hero, and I'm not. I don't know anything. All I do is I'm like a parrot. So the point I make to you is there's 800 people on there. And what I love about it is 799 of them aren't complaining. And everybody realizes that we all go through the same stuff every day. It's a challenge every day. We aren't alone in the boat. We belong, we're safe, and we're loved in Rank Makers. And as a result of that, it's safe harbor against the world for that live you do every day, which gives them a chance to go fight the Philistines for 23 more hours, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I do a live every single day. I give an action step and a quick training. And, it's something that we do track our production, and we just equip people with simple. And, it's something that I think there's been a lot of training over the years, especially when you involve social media, which we do teach a lot of social media stuff in there. But a lot of times it's too complex. A lot of times it's not everyone can follow it. So we really pride ourselves on making it simple. I saw the amazing video that you guys have for contact mapping, and we're honored that you're one of our sponsors for our upcoming event in Orlando. But I love what you said. You said if it's not simple, we don't teach it. And that's the same thing with us.
Well, you've done an unbelievable job. My new magnificent obsession is recognizing, and this is Ray Higdon. All I did was steal this from him. That little circle right there is all the books, all the head knowledge that you've got. You add that to the next circle, which is a heart. And in that circle is radical self-inquiry. And if you will do that, so you get all the knowledge from the book, you go into radical self-inquiry, and you add that to a great big rectangle called shared experience with others, which is what he does in Rank Makers. The equal sign is a pyramid with you at the top of it, not only in network marketing, but in your entire life, where you become this leader of hope for everybody because you've looked deep enough into yourself to find yourself to take it to the next level. That's what you do. You didn't even know you did that.
I mean, I think you just designed a shirt. I mean, I think we need to map that out and get that shirt done.
Is that crazy? Isn't that true?
Yeah, I appreciate it. We have a lot of vulnerability in there where we share, some of the different things. We have a lot of heart-centered stuff that we talk about in there as well. And, one of the big obstacles for people is just, if you think that making lots of money is selfish, greedy, evil, or whatever, then you'll never have it. And you'll also never get to experience the ability to make a larger impact. And so if you believe in your product, service, or opportunity, then why not spread it? Why not tell more people? Why not make lots and lots and lots of money as your comp plan is designed? And with that, you have choices. If you want to be on the boards of different charities or fundraisers or whatever, you get to do more with that. And that is a core theme that we have inside of Rank Makers for sure.
My knee high to an ant trifecta is Chad Williams, Michelle Eldridge, and Zach McKay. 3 people in your order. True story. Just think of their stories.
Yes.
Of where they were and where they are and where they're going, all because they plugged into you and they just they tagged along until this point right now, where instead of tagging along, they're actually tugging people and pulling people with them. That's what I love about what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, you may, but Michelle is actually now our onboarding rank maker specialist. So she actually calls every new rank maker now. And so she's working very closely here with us at the Higdon Group, and we love her. She's amazing, super, super smart, and we're honored to have her part of our organization.
She makes me cry. Her
Amazing.
story makes me cry. And
She's
talk
amazing.
about authenticity and vulnerability and a story. Every one of us have that. You've got that in you. Brene Brown says every human being has a story that will bring you to your knees if you'll just take the time to listen. You go to Rank Makers and watch those comments every morning, you're crying. That's how important this is. So I'm such a believer. It's frightening. And then if people want to take it up to the next level, talk about this summit that you're doing a little bit.
Yeah, so we are doing our biggest event ever. It's in Orlando in October. It's called Rank Makers Live, the Social Media Super Summit. And it's 3 days with us. We'll have somewhere between 2,500, 3,000 people there. So definitely our biggest event ever. And we're really excited about it. We got some amazing speakers. We like to mix it up and we like to make things a little different. So we have our keynote is Tarek from HGTV's Flip or Flop, which is, yes, he's a celebrity. Yes, he's on TV everywhere, but he's also a 2-time cancer survivor. And at one point was living with his parents, dead broke. And now over $10 million a year he's generated through his, his presence and his marketing and media and all of that stuff. And so an amazing, amazing story. We have Kim Garst, one of the top 10 social media influencers in the world, according to Forbes. And we have a lot of amazing, amazing leaders, Angel Fletcher, Diane Hockman, Nicola Smith-Jackson, and a whole host of others. But we're really, really excited. October 3rd through 5th in Orlando.
How do they register for that?
That's at rankmakerslive.com. Rankmakerslive.com.
That's very cool. And what's so cool about this is you're a bright guy. I know you're tough as nails.
Thank you.
Boxing. Are you box? What's going on with that? But look at all these books. Look at all these books. I mean, that's a half a book too. I think Brian was pissed off when I said he only wrote a half a book. That was pretty funny. But all these books, you guys, if you don't buy these books, you're out of your mind. How do you get better if you, that's a double book. Sorry, Adrian brought that up. So it is crazy, crazy stuff. And all you need to do is plug in with Ray. Plug in with him. He is a human being done well. He's not out there acting like he's this entitled guy. He is in the trenches with you. And I love that. At the ANMP, he's the only guy that they had this huge event. Higdon says, you know, there's a room over there. Can I rent it? And he did another event after that. Everybody else was exhausted. This guy said, I can feed into some people. I'm going to have a meeting. I'm going to play it big again one more time. And he did it. I mean, I love Ray. I love what he's doing. If you're not plugged into him, you're out of your mind. What's the best website where they can go figure out everything right now, Ray?
Well, I mean, for the event in Orlando, that's rankmakerslive.com. If you like, if you want our ongoing training, it's rankmakers.com. That's $20 a month, no contract. And honestly, if you don't feel it's the best training you've ever received, then just get your $20 back. We don't, that's okay. We'd give it to you back. We're not going to hold on to it. But, since we started tracking our production in early 2018, we've actually helped network marketers enroll over 128,000 new customers, 26,000 new reps, and over 6,000 rank advancements, which an average of 50 to 100 every single week. We're having rank advancements in there. And so we're really focused around production. It's not just impressing you or, having you, marveling at my skills or something like that. It's just to get you into production.
Well, here's what's cool. My engineer, James Earl Moore, just sent me a text message and said, Tom, can I join Rank Makers? So you even got the engineer involved with this thing. We're going to come back right after this. It's the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back. And we're back, and I've got my little snot-nosed kid with me. Ray, do you know him?
I do. Handsome fella. I love that video, by the way. That's slick.
Thanks, man.
I produced that.
Did you? You did all the editing?
Architect.
Can you believe they figured out a way to put that whole thing into a phone? I mean, you guys are amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. How's it going on the old contact mapping?
It's good, man. Ray, I am so excited to come down to Rank Makers Live in October. We were at Ray's event in, what was it, March or April? The Top Earners Academy.
I think March.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And there was probably you guys were doing it. That one is a smaller event with most of it on the live stream. So it was small by design, and the energy even inside of a smaller room was unbelievable. You guys are going to blow the roof off of Orlando with 3,000 people.
That's going to
be nuts.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. We got some cool stuff planned for sure.
You think the baby will be born by then?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. That's exciting. All right. Well, see, that's one thing off your plate you don't have to worry about. That is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So what else are you doing with your deal? Anything?
Yeah, so we're actually a sponsor, as Ray mentioned, of the Rank Makers Live event coming up in a couple of months. So we're going to be there. We're going to have a huge booth presence. We're going to be doing some really fun stuff. But Ray, you guys have just been a great partner and a great supporter of us along the way, and so I want to thank you for that. And just would love for you. You're such a great follow-up guy. I love my crazy follow-up is something that we love supporting your people in doing and using contact mapping. So just talk a little bit about your structure for how you have people following up.
Yeah. And, your system makes it really, really easy for people. And, it's just, one thing that I think sometimes gets missed is I'm very much about, distinctions, right? And so, when I teach prospecting online, if it's a cold prospecting strangers, I'm more of a get to the point kind of person, because I think that's the world we live in. Most people are not a stranger, whatever. Offline, I agree with you guys 100% about, you got to ask questions. They're right in front of you. And that's a distinction, right? And so I just really love what you guys do. And follow-up is, I tell people, here's a couple things about follow-up. All right. Number one, if you're not following up, you're working too damn hard. What are you going to do? Sign people up on the first spot? That's rare. That's really rare. There's very few people that, despite all of the things that I've studied, there are very few people I just signed up right on the spot. I had to follow up with them. And I assume they'll never follow up with me. That's why I stopped carrying business cards, because it was just like, well, this is a waste of money. No one ever contacts me. Hell, I remember going to an event at a learning annex down in Miami where you paid at least $5,000 a booth, and they had these little fish bowls. I put my business card in every one of them. None of them called. no one follows up, right? And so, number two, a bad follow-up is better than no follow-up. And number three, if you are decent at follow-up, you can suck at sales and still do pretty good. And so, your system makes that very, very easy. And so it's great what you guys have put together.
All right. We're going to come back right after this. Bye-bye, Adrian. And we're back. And no, you do not have to go be an alcoholic in order to understand what radical self-inquiry is. I am with Ray Higdon, who I believe is one of the deepest, widest guys in the entire space of network marketing. I trust him with my life. And here's what I talked about earlier when we talked about all the skills in that small circle and that big heart being radical self-inquiry. I don't care where you get to personal development. I think you could do it in Rank Makers because it is so rock solid. But there's the Landmark Forum, there's Psi, there's Alcoholics Anonymous. Anywhere, church, anywhere you go where you decide to get deep inside of yourself to let you figure out with other people what it is that has you not related to people is the missing link in network marketing. And that's what separates the women from the girls. What do you think about that, Ray?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's something that, looking inside is the answers. It's certainly not blaming others. It's not looking at external, problems, because people in worse shape than others have created success anyway. It's all about what's inside. How are you digging deep, and how are you figuring out how to get to that next level? And it's always inside. It really is.
And I've spent so much time looking over there at that guy or that girl that had all the business, and I'd buy a better tie, or I'd try to get in better shape, or I'd try to do this. I would try to be everything but the authentic Tom. The authentic Tom. I couldn't even say authentic Tom without joking. But at the end of the day, that's who you want to be, is the most authentic you. That's what's going to absolutely connect you with somebody else. If you can get completely in tune with being okay as to who and how you are, along with those skills that you're going to learn in Rank Makers, the magic is going to happen, and you're going to get it because you shared it with other people, and all of a sudden it's working. And that's what I think you guys have accomplished magically, and it's just getting started, I think.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that for sure.
Nailing the essence. And you got marketing chops. I mean, everybody knows that you are a marketing genius, but that's
I'm just relentless.
Yeah,
I'm marketing.
You know all these hot shots, but that's all head knowledge that people can learn. Where the magic really truly happens for you, I mean, I swear, Ryan Enright is a guy here in town. He played football at the University of Colorado. I think he's in Prove It. Hell of a guy. Got 6 kids. Football coach at 3:00. He's got practice. I put out an email, said Ray Higdon's going to be on the show. He thought you were here. He canceled football practice and drove all the way to my office to come down here and shake your hand.
Wow.
He's never been to my office. I've been 15 years. He's never driven across the street. And all of a sudden, Ray Higdon's here, and the guy cancels football practice. That's impact, Ray.
That's pretty awesome. We can't have him as a guest. Is he still there? Did he leave?
No, he split. He was so mad. He was so mad. Ask James. James, get over here real quick. I was so disappointed. This is the engineer that's signing up for Rank Makers.
Only Tom.
Am I lying or am I dying?
You're telling the truth.
100% the truth. I was so disappointed. I go, what about me? He goes, oh, you're here. Get out of here. It was unbelievable. But that's impact, Ray.
That's really cool.
You want to go to rankmakers.com. That's why you want to go to Orlando. So you learn how to impact people like that. The reason we're sponsoring it, because they didn't invite me to speak. Adrian goes, they're having this big thing. I go, who's the speaker? He goes, oh, Dana McGrady and Diane Hockman and Angel Fletcher. And I'm going, what the hell? How much is it to sponsor it? He goes, whatever it was. I go, do it. Because we could come down and be there with you. Because I'm Ryan Enright.
I appreciate you. You guys are amazing.
Is that the truth? That is so sad. You people have to go. You have to go. You get to meet Ray. Good God. And Jessica and Anu. That woman is unbelievable. She and Michelle Eldridge. Your crew is off the chain.
I appreciate that. You're awesome.
It's absolutely the truth. I'd like to be lying about it. Remember when I called you that day and I said, you got to come to Denver, Colorado. We got to do our rank makers in Colorado.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
Because we would get so, I would have some friends. It would be unbelievable. For a
Ryan would come.
Be you. So get over here and come to Colorado. That's all I'm begging you.
Let's do it. Let's plan it.
All right. So any other books? Have you written anything else? Have you got anything else you want to try to sell these poor people?
Well, I got something for free. We have our, we produced and created a reality show, and we released episode 1 last week. Episode 2 comes out Thursday. And so that's 40 people came from around the world to compete for a job or coaching with us. And it's pretty intense. I kicked their butt pretty hardcore, but it's very, very entertaining and good. Some good lessons in there. And that releases Thursday night.
Okay, you guys. So you got to go to Rank Makers. You join Rank Makers. You can find on Facebook. They are everywhere. These guys are everywhere. Who do we have next week? Do we have any idea who our guests are next week, James? Thanks for giving me a note on that one.
I sent you a text, Michelle Eldridge.
Send me a text. So Marianne, come on camera and just say who it is. Happy anniversary, by the way, Marianne. You've been married 50 years now. Hurry up. All you had to do was turn your camera on.
Oh, but I wanted to come here.
All right, good to see you.
50 years. I'm not even that old, Tom. 35, 36. Right. Oh, 36. 36 years.
Who's on next
Happy
week?
Anniversary.
Who's on
Michelle Eldridge.
Michelle Eldridge. Unbelievable. And who else?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Lisa Grossman.
Lisa Grossman.
Oh my gosh.
That'll
it's
be the
feel
amazing. It's going to be a great show. Well, Ray, we love you. I think we pitched the hell out of you, so I think you're in good. We showed everybody how big your heart was. I showed you that new thought of mine that is you. I would like to say I'm that way, but I am not. I wish I was Ray Higdon. I am just telling you guys that. So take that to the bank, Ray Higdon. We'll see you in a couple of months. Everybody, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching the Tom Chenault Show. It has been an unbelievable day.
Oh my gosh, I got to go.
All right. We're still not gone. So we're gone on the show, but now we're still here, Ray. So don't even panic.
Cool.
So
nice.
How about, wasn't that fun, Ron Henley? He's such a doll. Jennifer Vlasic, you are incredible. Michelle Eldridge, that will be great. Chad Williams is a sweetie pie. Come on over here and sit next to me, Chad, while we're just talking to Ray. Brian Carruthers. Look at Brian Carruthers. He stuck around for the whole show. Unbelievable. You're a doll, Brian. Thank you.
I got my. You're muted.
Marianne, it's for Marianne's first day on the job.
I didn't touch anything.
It's her. Marianne is sitting back there producing the show with a bottle of wild turkey. So no matter what's going on, that's what's happening. She's all boozed up because it's her wedding anniversary. You muted everybody now, Marianne. That's even worse.
We're here.
No, everybody's unmuted. I haven't muted anybody.
I love you guys.
Thank God the show's over.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody can you hear Ray say something?
Hey, I can hear you. Yeah.
Chad got a haircut, I think. It looks really nice, Chad.
Sure.
Steve, put it back just a little bit. So
hold your head up. We all have the same problem. You just got to hold your head up. Look at that camera up there. You're looking at the wrong camera.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, good.
Hey, it's my first day on the job.
So, Ray, what you've done with him, I just want you to know, and you should plug in with Brian too, because Brian's got real skills on. This is a test tube baby. I mean, this kid's going to be a success story. He was down in San Antonio. Sean Murphy said, you need to talk to Tom Chenault. So I talked to him on the phone too much. And the next thing you know, he moved to Longmont. And now he lives here. So now he's living here in town. And all he does is follow what you guys do to the nines. And he is building his own little dynasty as a result of you guys. And I just can't thank you enough, because this is truly a life saved.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome, man.
Very cool. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate talking to you on at Eric Worre's shindig.
And I'm gonna loan him your book, Bri, and read it to him. I think I'm gonna read this to you. You're gonna sit on my lap. I'm gonna read it to you. So
I can't fit.
We went to the we went to the coffee shop and because he said he didn't have anybody to talk to, and we went to the coffee shop. And all we did was take all the cards off of the people we didn't know, and we wrote him a note. and said, hey, Joe, give me a call. And I'll be damned if he put out 10 of them and 6 of them called him back on the phone. And that's how he got himself launched. Because you guys, this kid is unstoppable. He'll do anything. And I'm telling you, he's the next Michelle Eldridge. He's the next Zach McKay. He's those people. And what I live for is a success story like this. Don't you guys agree?
Awesome. It's awesome.
True story. All right. Maybe we can even get him down to Florida. Go see Ray. All right, you guys.
Wow.
I love you both. Thank you so much for
you.
coming on. We'll see you all next time, everybody.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching.
Ray, I'm in your
Thanks for
lifetime.
You guys.
What's that?
You're a lifetime rank
Thank
maker?
you, guys.
Not you son of a gun.
We don't offer those anymore.
I got hosed, of course.
You got
All
a good
right,
deal.
see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Later, Brian.
Bye.
That was fun. You're a beautiful